interrogated and stayed. Her guilt could not be proven. She was then released to her home, now in the grounds of Leonard Palace. She said then that she would never return to this evil place. But 4 years later, back she came. But this time she was now the queen. Her half-sister had died. She had to take possession of this, the premier forces in the land, and remain here the night before her coronation. But early the next morning she would leave this tower on a litter, borne by 4 knights in burnished armour, a canopy of gold above her head, out through the rejoicing crowd on a journey to Westminster Abbey. And there she was crowned Elizabeth, the first of England. And eventually they would complete the role, where of course in all the love stories they lived happily ever after. Well, what were we left with? What was our legacy of all this? An empty cell, a man in trouble, an angry crowd upon the hill next day waiting for an execution that would never, ever go ahead. And a saying we still use today. Because that man from Scotland had escaped from the tower. His crimes had gone unpunished. And even today, when that happens, we still say, he got off scot-free. It all started here, you know, write that down. Now, before we move on, I must indicate this gateway here, which is probably the most infamous gateway in history.
You can guess what, in fact, he was doing with his orange juice, his feather, and the paper. He was not just sending rosaries across the river. Instead, he was writing with the orange juice upon the piece of paper words which were invisible to the naked eye. But when you held the paper to a candle or to the heat of a fire, slowly the words would seep through the page and appear again on the paper. So, Gerard was not just sending rosaries, but secret letters across the river to his friends. And he was planning to escape. Now this is not all that Gerard was up to, because he had befriended another Catholic prisoner, a man by the name of John Arden, around the corner in the Cradle Tower. And they would often get together of an evening and say Mass together. When Gerard was in the Cradle Tower, he noticed how close it was to the outer wall, to the moat. This would be laid down from the Cradle Tower. His friends would sail along the river, attach a great rope to it, which they could pull to the top of the Cradle Tower, and scale the wall and the moat, and sail away to their freedom. Over the next few weeks, indeed, the cord and the weights were smuggled in, and the night arrived for the men to sail down the River Thames. Everything went exactly to plan. The men sailed down, the cord came down, they attached the great rope to it, and Arden and Gerard managed to scale across the wall, get into the boat, sail down the river, and away to France and to their freedom. Now the next morning when we arrived back at the tower, we discovered an empty cell, and also Gerard's jailer Bennett failed to turn up for work that day. And we hear that he too is over the other side of the English Channel on the continent. With a very across the other side of the English Channel is where I will go presently, to the island of Jersey, to leave this place far behind. So, when I'm gone, I hope you enjoy the rest of the time you have here at the Tower of London. And thank you very much for your attention this morning.
Where we rarely see the sun, but today it is a factor. They also say when you have come on guard and taken up a good, solid stance, they say do not jump up and down in front of your opponent. I don't know why, probably because it would look like this. It's quite distracting. And most important of all, the adage runs that whoever makes the first move makes the first mistake. In other words, they say wait, let your opponent strike first. Unfortunately, both the English and the Italian schools teach this. So if you and I were to follow our teachings work a bit like this. Time I thrust to Michael's throat.
Ah! Hey! Off with him! Kill Italian.
The dagger that I carry is a weapon that can be used both defensively and offensively. In fact, primarily, it's to parry and block. And in this case, since it is only a thrust, I can parry that, and at the same time, I void my body, move out of the way of the line of attack, and then we can come back on guard and decide what we're going to do next.
So this is what I do when I adopt this guard, called the True Garden Fight by Silver, and he says it's very good because it's difficult for Mike to get around. If he comes too close, he's in danger of getting thrust through the thigh. With the broadsword, I can turn this into a heavy head cut or a body cut. So he's going to have to think of something quite ingenious to get around it. Oh, that wasn't that ingenious, was it really?
The weight of the broadsword does work against it. This is why, generally, most rapier guards or wards have the sword held low, the dagger out in front. That is how you are going to start your opening attack. In this instance, having got rid of the broadsword, I can thrust first high towards Hugh's heart, Emperor Casio. Because he blocked that, I can turn it into a wrist cut. The idea is to come beneath the buckler and disembowel him, like so.
And now I'm in a position to launch my own thrust to Michael's throat once more.
Which I can parry with the dagger.
I've had no trouble with a thrust from the broadsword, but Mike, I think we're going to have much more trouble with what you would call Ramazone, and which I would more simply call the vertical head cut.
Okay, yeah. In this instance, there is a great danger for anyone using a light weapon. For example, if you try to parry merely with your dagger, it'll just go straight through it and chop it in two. If I just use the rapier, that'll probably break and then it will kill me. So I must use both weapons. Now, some fight masters advocate this guard. It works, it's very effective, but it does have one inherent weakness. This blow has been taken away. You can command the broadsword with the dagger, and then, well, it's around about 3 or 4 inches, and Hugh's dead.
Well, I would be if I didn't parry it just in time.
Now those are legal moves, I suppose. It's quite fair, sword against sword, dagger against buckler, and vice versa. But most of the experts, again, be they English or continental, advocate cheating. At one stage, Hugh adopts what is basically an anti-rapier guard. Now, Silver argues that if you're fighting someone with a longer weapon than you basically do this to keep them as far away as possible. I can't thrust in without danger to myself. But again, as Ariolo says, as long as you're leading with the dagger, you can, hopefully,
and then use the weight to flick it out of the way. And this exposes Mike now to a big, heavy cut.
Again, it needs both weapons, because neither individually will do. So, both rapier and dagger are used to block. Now I can use the dagger offensively and stab him in the gut.
Which I managed to block, however, with the buckler, and now we've come to close quarters, and both of our weapons are tied up. So it's this point that we need to look to the chapter that our masters write about cheating.
Now, there are several options open here. I could, for example, knee hewn in the groin. I could equally try and headbutt. But I also have what is a very effective knuckle duster here. And so rather than It's